first college sport for a lot of universities will be coming back.
Right, absolutely, and that's a huge deal. Obviously, by that point, a lot of schools will be gone for Thanksgiving. They're not coming back at that point, and so that's a big deal, obviously, because now there's a less of a chance of obviously the virus being in the players and them getting it when they're back at campus. So it should hopefully go swimmingly. We've already seen some problems in football, but hopefully basketball can make the transition a little easier, especially with more time to plan now.
So now knowing which day that the Colonials will be, there's a closer day that we know when they have to prep for to be able to expect to see some action. How do you think men's basketball is going to be able to fare in the Horizon League?
Well, obviously there's a little bit of turnover. They've lost Josh Williams, obviously. That's going to be a big loss, but they still got guys like A.J. Brahma here. And I think they're going to make the transition nicely. There's a lot of competitive teams, Wright State, Green Bay. Cleveland State had a bit of a down year last year, but they're usually up there. So, I think RMU, Andy Toole, obviously a fantastic coach, one of the best coaches, I think, in college basketball. I think he'll have his men, almost said boys, we should call them men, well prepared for the transition in the Horizon League.
He just turned 40. Andy Toole's still a very relatively young coach. So what about women's basketball? They ended up not being able to complete the NEC tournament, in their last appearance in the NEC tournament, defeating Wagner in overtime to move on, but the season never happened.
Right, that tournament unfortunately didn't end, so obviously they're transitioning now into the Horizon League as well. And I think Coach B is going to have them well prepared too. They lost Nneka Zibo, they lost Erekbatan Ozzy Mamadou, two really tall people down low. They lack in height now a little bit, but they definitely have some people like Sid Palermo coming up now ready to take over. And I think they have a lot of shooters. Laura Carrasco, Isabella Posset, Nina Augustin. They have a lot of players that are able to shoot. So maybe we're going to see almost like a transition in how they approach the game. Obviously, defensively, they're always pretty sound, and I'm not worried about them on the defensive end. But offensively, might see a bit of a change in how they approach the game, and I think that's going to be very exciting.
You mentioned some of the departing seniors, Josh Williams and Nneka Zibo. If you could pick one player from both teams that you think needs to step up this year, who would that be?
I think Dante Tracy. We saw him obviously in that NEC championship game. He had a phenomenal game, lights out shooting. I think consistency might have been a bit of an issue, but Dante Tracy, when he's on, man, he's on butter on toast. He's a guy that you can count on, and I think this year he really steps up into that superstar role, and I think him and A.J. Brahma, you're going to be household names in the Pittsburgh basketball scene pretty soon here.
What about women's basketball?
That's a tough one. I think Isabella Posset, 2 years under her belt now, I think she really steps up into this role as well. Maybe Natalie Villaflor, too. Good shooter. Maybe takes a bigger role in this new season as well.
I would say so as well. Now, we saw in the NEC, RMU being the #1 seed in both men's and women's basketball, was able to host the conference tournament. Now, going into the Horizon League, that's not going to happen for the semifinals and the finals. They're going to be held in Indianapolis for the next 2 years. The crowd was a big part of RMU being able to win the NEC championship against St. Francis for men's basketball. How do you think this is going to affect both teams, and how much of a letdown do you think it's going to be not having the whole arena being filled with home fans?
Right. I think that's a crucial element of this new conference. I think of at the NAC, while the UPMC Event Center was being constructed, when the women's basketball team played in the NEC championship, I think it was St. Francis they played against. And even in an arena that's not supposed to be holding events like that, it was an absolutely electric experience. And I think now, obviously, with the UPMC Event Center being done, I think it might have been the biggest crowd they had, more than the Pitt game. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Don't fact check me on that. But that was an electric atmosphere. That's something that when you think of college basketball, college championship game, you think of that experience. And to no longer have that. And they probably would have won that game, given how they played that day. But if you cannot convince me that crowd didn't help catapult them into the large margin that they built against St. Francis.
The atmosphere is just what really changed everything.
Right, absolutely.
But Nick, I want to thank you for coming on, as always. It's great to see you again.
It's great to be seen. Thank you very much, Austin.
I appreciate it. Really, it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen this year with men's and women's basketball. Transition to the new conference, and like I mentioned with Nick, the neutral sites in the semifinals and the finals of the conference tournament, it really leads to some uncertainty as to what could happen with an atmosphere. But we'll see how they are able to transition this year. So, Ethan, what's going on with Century Media?
All right, for the latest news, arts and entertainment, and sports going on around Robert Morris and the surrounding area, make sure to follow RMU Century Media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to stay up to date. So you can reach the Century website by going to rmucenturymedia.com. Coming up after the break, I will be
sitting down with the head of recruitment's Delta Tel Delphi, Austin Isley. So stay tuned here on RMU Focus.
All over. Can't high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get...
Welcome back to RMU Focus, the show dedicated to everything going on around campus. Austin Beck told us sitting down with Delta Tau Delta head of recruitment, Austin Isley, to talk about everything going on in their organization. This time of year, and specifically for Rush Week, Austin, take it away.
Well, thank you, Ethan. And just one correction I wanted to make. Austin's actually the Director of Communications,
Yes, sir.
but we're very happy to have you on here. Thanks for coming on with us.
Happy to be here, man.
Today, Ethan. Awesome.
Thank you.
So I want to first ask you, why did you join Delta Tau Delta?
I joined just for the experience. Everyone has that general stigma about Greek life in general, that everyone kind of doesn't want to get hazed and all that stuff, but it's super different here at RMU across all the organizations, just not Delt. So, I joined for really the brotherhood and the experience and the networking, basically.
So how many people would you say that are in the fraternity with you?
Around 30, 35, depending on how you want to count it. Some people are fully off campus with the online stuff, so kind of around 30.
So as the Director of Communications, what is your role in being able to discuss upcoming events and just relaying information to people?
Yeah, so basically I kind of just handle the calendar, so I have to make sure that that's updated with all the events so that everybody can be there when they're supposed to be. I send out all the emails from the minutes and all the other stuff during chapters, meetings, and all that. Basically, just kind of make sure that everything's moving pretty well along.
So tell me what goes on during chapter meetings for people that would not know.
So we basically just discuss all the events that we're trying to hold, plan on holding, all the basically inner workings of the fraternity, just kind of make sure everyone's on the same page.
So tell me about recruitment week and everything that the organization does to try to bring new people in.
Yeah, so we plan a few weeks ahead, make sure we get the events that we think the most people will want to come out to. With COVID, it's been a little bit rough trying to figure out things that people would actually want to go out to with the risk of COVID, obviously. So, but yeah, we meet a few weeks ahead of time, plan it all out, print out posters, hang those up, get people to spread the word about it, and then just hold events with some people that are somewhat interested. If not, just come and hang out either way.
For anybody that's interested in joining, how would they be able to find information? Do you have any social platforms, any emails that go out to students?
Yeah, we're on pretty much all social media, just RMU Delt, and the best way is honestly to just reach out to any brother. I'm pretty sure you can join through Revolution too, but the best way to get all your answers or questions answered would probably be just to ask any of the brothers. So
what do you say that you value most about being in this organization?
Just the brotherhood. I mean, it sounds kind of cliche because, you know what I mean, but probably just the brotherhood. It's a really tight bond. Everybody gets along really well, and yeah.
So how tight would you say the bond is then? Are you guys constantly doing activities with each other, on campus, off campus?
Yeah, the suite's a big deal. The suite, we have 10 guys down in Washington Sea Tower, and they're always constantly hanging out and doing stuff like that. Last year, when we were actually allowed to have more people around, the suite was constantly filled with new guys, brothers, just pretty much anybody, all just hanging out.
So let me ask you, how do you feel that being a part of the organization has really changed you for the better?
Yeah, I mean, being director of communication, it's made me kind of get my organizational skills up to par, because, I mean, not that it was horrific, but it's definitely improved that for sure.
So over quarantine, we had the 7-month period from when school ended in March to where we are now. Did you guys hold any events? Did you keep in touch with everybody? What did you try to do to just make sure everybody had stayed connected?
We didn't do any events per se, because we didn't really want to be the group that caused the spread of COVID around our area. But we stayed connected. We had a few e-board meetings and chapter meetings as well, so we were all in touch.
Are you doing any online meetings now, any events
Yeah,
online?
we hold them once a week. Chapter we have every Monday, but these last 2 weeks we haven't because of Labor Day and Rush Week. We don't have one, so we've been doing that though.
So tell me more about Rush Week. What kind of events, fundraisers that go on during Rush Week? And then after that, if you could let me know what goes on after Rush Week happens, just when we get closer to the end of the semester.
Yeah, so during Rush Week, we just, like I said, we have those events that we planned out. I think tonight is spike ball and volleyball at the sand courts, so come on down if you're into that. But we have those different events set up, and then this Saturday, which is tomorrow, I believe, I don't even know what day it is, we're doing a road cleanup, and we'll have people meet at the suite at, I believe, 10 a.m., and then we'll go down there and start doing a little bit of community service. We have different community service events planned, different philanthropy events planned for later. We haven't really done much just because we were trying to figure out what we can and can't do with COVID through SGA. But, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. What would you say has been your favorite moment?
Honestly, any time in the suite has been awesome because, like I said, the bond there is just awesome. Any time that the late night Romo's trips last year, those were always fun. We would stay there for almost a few hours at a night or at a time. Yeah.
Late night Romo's trips were a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
fun. I definitely remember that. So let me ask you lastly, Austin, why should someone join Delta Tau Delta or any other fraternity?
Greek life in general, I think, if it's something that you might be into, I would say definitely give it a try. Go out to some of the events that every group is having. Don't just try to join one, like experience the other ones, because one fit might be better than the other. And obviously we would like people to join Delt, but if it's not the fit for you, then we don't hold that against you. So I would just say that it's something that builds your network. It's a good investment in yourself, really.
Yeah. So you'd say that if someone is just on the fence, they're not really sure, that they should just join for network opportunities and just, being a part of just like a brotherhood, just a combination of, being a part of something greater. Well, Austin, I'd like to thank you for coming on, from one Austin to another. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Now we'll send it back over to Ethan.
Great interview. Great interview. If you want to learn more about Greek life and everything that goes around that, you should definitely check them out. A lot of nice events. Can't hear enough about me. Can't get enough of hearing Austin and I speak all the time. Check out RMU Radio. You can find popular shows like Where's the News and Baldwin in the Berg, hosted by Austin and Nate. You can hear our live broadcasts through the Radio FX app. Download the app on your phone or other devices to support the student-run media here at Robert Morris. Coming up after a short break, Arts and Entertainment editor Zachary Soma is going to tell us all about the latest music that people are listening to and why you should join in as well. Stay tuned here on RMU Focus.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, waste planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to RMU Focus. Arts and Entertainment Editor for Century Media, Zachary Soma, is keeping us up to date on the most popular music today, and also some songs that you should definitely check out if you haven't heard any of them now. His article is up at rmucentralmedia.com. So, Ethan, let's discuss what Soma come up with. I have his article right here. We're going to talk about it a little bit. So, Soma's Sound Bites, he said it's a bi-weekly column that'll talk about all the new music releases every 2 weeks. And he talked about music today from Big Sean, NBA YoungBoy, 6ix9ine. So let's break this down a little bit. Let's see what he has to say. So someone talked about there's a couple things on here. He talked about the album Declan McKenna. Sounds like Dylan McKenna, who runs who runs the whole UPMC Event Center. He rated this an 8 out of 10. Now that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is Detroit 2. Okay. Our very own Nate Breisinger, who is the co-host of Baldwin and the Bird with me, my radio show. He wrote the album review on Detroit 2, and Soma basically said that Nate did such a great job that he's just going to let Nate talk about it. But how about we talk about it?
All right.
So he rated it a 5 out of 10. He rated Detroit 2 a 5 out of 10. Me personally, I listened to the album. The album was pretty good, and reading Nate's column review, that was pretty good too. I would definitely recommend Detroit 2 with you.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, there's a lot of great songs on there. There's some that I think it's a good rating of 5 out of 10. Maybe bump it up a little bit more.
I'd maybe go 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Some of his favorite tracks on here: "Lucky Me," "Deep Revenge," "Guard Your Heart," and "Friday," and "Guard Your Heart." So he also talks about a couple other artists. NBA YoungBoy's album came out. I listened to that too. He rated it a 3 out of 10. He says that he's just, he's constantly known. You hear about NBA YoungBoy a lot, but he doesn't really feel great about the whole entire album. He rated it a 3 out of 10. His favorite tracks on there are "Crossroads," "My Window," and "Big Bankroll." I think, my thing with NBA YoungBoy, his songs are a little choppy. Sometimes they can be a little loud and a little too much. Yeah. So I kind of understand that. Do you listen to his music a little bit?
I do not really listen to a lot of NBA YoungBoy, but I can tell you, like you said, they're choppy. I mean, sometimes it's like some of his songs are really good, others are hit or miss. So you never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes the words blend together too much, and I'm trying to understand what he's saying. But then some also called it trap rap. So we have that, and then we also one last one. We have quickly 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine came out with a new album, and Soma does not like Tattletales by 6ix9ine. He rated it a 1 out of 10. 1. I don't know what you think of 6ix9ine, personally. I mean, I don't really like him that much.
I mean, it's a completely different style of rap and all of that. I know he's a controversial rapper with all of his stuff, last year and everything like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well. Are you a passionate RMU Colonial sports fan? We have just the place for you. Colonial Sports Network is your home for everything going on in Robert Morris Athletics. From Joe Walton Stadium to the UPMC Event Center, the softball and soccer fields, and over to the Island Sports Complex. The writers and video crew at CSN will always keep you updated with the latest news as RMU transitions to the Horizon League and the football team moves to the Big South. So, coming up after the break, Nate Breisinger will be telling us all about the upcoming holidays, both relatively known and not known to many, that are coming up in the future.
Also coming up, you will hear what Austin and my places to be are for the upcoming weekend, both at Robert Morris and in Pittsburgh. We will be right back in 2 minutes.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
What are you doing in there? What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes.
Make a plan today.
Welcome back to RMU Focus, the show you need to watch to stay informed on the latest campus news. Nate Breisinger now is going to tell us all about the holidays that happened in the past week. Not what's upcoming, what happened in the past week that you should definitely be aware of that already happened. So, let's see what Nate's got for us.
In the extremely uneventful summer due to COVID-19, many people may have been cooped up inside and missed out on exciting and unknown national days. During this past week, numerous national days took place. Did you head over to the Yorktown Cafe to celebrate National Chocolate Milkshake Day this past Saturday? This tasty creation has been around since 1885, gaining popularity in the Roaring 20s. RMU students could have celebrated this special day with their favorite Yorktown treat. What about all the gamers out there? September 12th was also National Video Games Day, as it brings together gamers throughout the world to kick back, relax, and have fun as they take pursuit in their favorite video games. Hopefully those games didn't get too serious, resulting in some rage quit. Another golden national day is National Bald is Beautiful Day. This past Monday. So what if you don't have a full head of hair with luscious locks? Everyone still loves you. You're beautiful in your own very way. So I hope you enjoyed your very own day to celebrate that bald head. Lettuce, tomato, pickles, and 2 patties. National Double Cheeseburger Day is another delicious day that was celebrated this past week. McDonald's Double Cheeseburger definitely was a must-have this past week to celebrate such an important day of a popular American meal. Or you could have just cooked them yourselves to turn it into a family ordeal. Remember being so young and artistic as you attempted to make something creative with Play-Doh? September 16th was National Play-Doh Day. We hope all the young kids and parents enjoyed themselves a fantastic day of messes and creativity with this enjoyable creation. Always keep a lookout for unique national days on your calendar and celebrate them with some friends or family. For RMU Century Media, I'm Nathan Breisinger.
Thank you, Nate Breisinger, for that package there. Multiple fun events are coming up this week on campus. First, Student Activities is hosting a second day of the RMU SGA Virtual Activities Fair online. It started at 1 p.m. today, but it runs until 3 this afternoon. To learn about all the activities on campus this semester, make sure to look into that. Phi Sigma Kappa is hosting mini golf at the Island at 4:30 p.m. today at the Island Sports Center as a part of Recruitment Week activities. Sigma Kappa is holding a walk to end Alzheimer's at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday at the Nicholson front lawn. Make sure to go and support this great cause. Finally, RMU Residence Life is hosting the RMU Combine at Joe Walton Stadium Saturday at 1:30. The Combine includes running the 40-yard dash, various agility drills, and live stream NFL trivia questions. Ethan, what's going on in Pittsburgh?
All right, Austin. This week in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Running Tours are hosting on Saturday, September 19th at 10 a.m. a 5K run around downtown Pittsburgh. The route is full of history, from the French and Indian War to the Underground Railroad. Learn more about Fort Pitt and the Diamond Market and more of Pittsburgh's fascinating history on this 5K tour. Next, we have an annual Covered Bridge Festival at the Heinz History Center. Visit Meadowcroft's historic Pine Bank Covered Bridge during Washington and Greene County's annual Covered Bridge Festival. Also, the Pittsburgh Steelers face off against the Denver Broncos on Sunday, September 20th at Heinz Field. Even though the Steelers will not be allowing fans in the stands, you can still cheer on the team as they go for their second win in the 2020 campaign this weekend. For my What to Watch segment, with so many different streaming services to choose from, at times it can be hard to find what shows to watch. I'm watching a show right now that you should definitely be sure to check out. The show is called Ted Lasso, and it's on Apple TV+. The show is about an enthusiastic American football coach, Ted Lasso, who is fresh off a Division II championship at Wichita State, who knows nothing about coaching soccer, but is then blindly hired to lead a generally mediocre Premier League soccer team, AFC Richmond. This 10-episode series is filled with humor and has a great storyline. If you love sports and are looking for a great storyline, you should definitely check it out this show. Can't get enough of RMU Focus? How could you? Make sure to tune in to show every Friday at 1 p.m. along with the rest of the RMU show lineup. RMU Live Mondays at 1 p.m., RMU Tonight, and Sports Talk in the Burg rotating every Wednesday at 5 p.m. And as always, Colonial Sports Center Thursdays at 9:30.
Thank you for that, Ethan. And I also want to talk about my new show that I'm producing on Monday nights. It's going to be called RMU Extra. And we're going to be talking about what's going on in the world of, we're going to talk about some food reviews, maybe some video game reviews. We're going to talk about music, entertainment, all those great things. But let's talk about our places to be for the week. My place to be is the Phi Sigma Kappa Ping Pong Tournament at the Student Rec Center. This event is taking place on Monday, September 21st at 6:30 p.m. and should be a fun way to get involved on campus, and you can even potentially join that fraternity. Ethan, what's your place?
Austin, this weekend I'm definitely going to be checking out the RMU Combine at Joe Walton Stadium. I'm always looking for an athletic challenge, so I can't wait for this event. You can participate in some classic Combine events such as the 40-yard dash and the broad jump and various other agility drills. I can't wait to test my knowledge on some NFL trivia as well, so it should be a great time, and I hope to see you there.
So also going on, Ethan, if you miss our radio shows that are live broadcasting on Radio FX, you could check them out on Podbean. It's the app that you were able to hear all of our voices, and it's really somewhere that you should be able to check out on your phone or mobile device and be able to listen to our shows. But hey, Ethan, I want to thank you for coming on and co-hosting with me today.
Thanks for allowing me to be on with you. Had a lot of fun.
Thank you. So for everybody upstairs and down here, I'm Austin Bechtold, and this is Ethan Morrison. We'll see you on Friday next week.